Hey everybody, how are you all doing today? We're gonna be streaming some Virtua Fighter. Our intention is to play in the AKAI leagues. We were unable to join yesterday. Let's see if we can join today. Just some of the room challenges with connections, or at least establishing them. But we had an awesome weekend. Frosty Faustings happened. I have a slightly blue background today, and the tournament was great. It was a lot of fun to watch, and I think the commentators, that would be Shadosha and Team Chris, I think they did an amazing job, and I think the players just fought really good. It was really entertaining VF, and I hope a lot of y'all were able to enjoy it. So, that said, if you have trouble hearing me, please let me know, and I'm also going to be on an additional device following along the chat on YouTube. I'm realizing that on my OBS it's not exactly always showing me the chat from YouTube. It shows some of it, but there's been some that I've missed, and I apologize. I want to make sure I get everybody included, and I appreciate everyone's support. It's been really, everyone's just been wonderful. So let's get to it. It's February 1st, 2026. Let's see if we can, let's check the status of AKAI's League. So, turn the volume off here. Okay, so in the AKAI's League, they're almost done. They just about finished with the league. I should be able to join, but yeah, right now that we came at the perfect time. They had just finished the league. Sorry, I'm gonna mute the mic because I gotta clear my throat. Apologize. Alright, that should sound a lot better. Okay, so the passcode today is usual 0201 for North America, whereas in Europe they follow more of the Europe's or the more global way of doing the dates, where it's like the day first and then the month. So let's see how many gray bars we see in here. Nope, we could not get into this room. That's unfortunate. I might have to try it on the PS5, but even then I don't know if that'll do much better. Especially when you're coming in late, you're trying to establish connections with other people. That said, if the league doesn't happen for me today, that's okay. I'll do some matches. We'll figure it out. So let me see here. But we'll try. But it is unfortunate. Right now, we have a pretty good record in the league, but we've only had two leagues during two league battles, which were last week. We got second place after Chopper, the number one Leon player in the world, and then we got first place after that. I'm having a good day, Move Quick. I hope you are too. How have you been doing? It looks like we might not be able to participate in the AKAI leagues here, but I'm gonna try it on the PS5. To be honest, I think that might actually work. I have a feeling this won't work, but we'll try. I'm gonna start up the PS5 to get that ready. Camera might shake a bit, yeah. Yeah, so we'll try it on the PS5. That might work. That sometimes works better, but at the same time, it's more about the fact that we've got to establish connections with people that are in the room ready, I think. I feel like that's kind of really it. And so, you get a lower lottery ticket. So let me switch it over. And we'll also close the game too. Alright. So while I'm doing that, hey RJ, how are you doing? Life's been treating me okay. It's been okay, but yeah, I'm doing all right. Let me see here. Give it a moment while that loads up, but I can go ahead and switch the here. There we go. And then we do have a game audio for it, so that should work out. It looks like it's reading some audio there. But if you guys, I'll let you know when the game audio should be on. If you can't hear it, just let me know so that I can make sure that we get some form of it. Let's see. But I'm doing good. It's really good to see you, RJ. I hope you've been doing great. Blackmatic, it's so good to see you. How are you doing? Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you. All right, so we're gonna try to join this way. We didn't join the Kai's chat because I kind of want to do this process. But we'll join the Kai's chat if we get into the room. I think they just started their intermission about 5 minutes ago for North America, so we have some time. All right, here we go. Okay, today's code is 0201. That's today's date in the format of month and today. That's North America, because that's how we tend to do it in North America. But in the EU and in a lot of other places around the world, it's different. It's usually day, then month, then year. So and I like that Akai does that. Okay, good. We have a good connection with everyone. I think we're good. We're gonna join Akai's chat. And Discord's always such a mess. I'm on the max number of Discord channels. Every time a new server asks me to join, I have to like find one to delete. Where's the AKAI Leagues? If he changed the icon, that would be why I can't find it right now, but I don't think that's what happened. I think I'm just feeling a little blind here. I think, did he change it? He might have changed the icon, so now I'm like, what? I might be completely like lost. No, he didn't. He just said it's way lower on the totem pole.
11 players.
All right, can you guys hear me okay?
Your turn, chat.
Hey, all right. Looks like I can join after I went onto the PS5. So, you know, I got booted.
PS5?
I got auto booted, but I also had a lot of gray bars when I was on the Steam. On the PS5, it's all green and yellow now.
Experience and today's experience. You might see people with web connection indicators. We're not worrying about that right now. We do think that that's just a visual bug that's related to the 10,000 or 100,000 ping that you see in the match.
Gotcha. The escalation one. Yeah, it sounds like it's like an escalation of display.
The only thing was this gray bar connections. That's all we need to make sure everyone check on. Okay. All right. We started the countdown already. Oh.
Wonderful to see. Hi, Blondie here. Blondie, so good to see you. Wonderful to have Techne as well, and man, lots of great faces here. So, hope everyone's doing really good. I'm glad I can join this one. We'll see. Maybe I jinxed it, but yeah. And for the record, at least for these early pings, I'm seeing all greens and yellows. So
good. Yeah, these they haven't addressed the main issues with the online, and we got a visual bug now too.
Yeah.
And people who play on Steam Deck and operating systems outside of Windows seems to be having also trouble getting into the game. So
it's really, really unfortunate.
It is. But we are fans of BF who are trying to make the grow the scene or help maintain the scene. So
we always make it
endure.
But you know, it's an important skill in the game too, though, that you always got to find a way to make it work. A lot of times it means that the adjustment will have to be on your end. If you're the one that's losing at any time, you're the one that has to make adjustments. You know, life's not fair. That's how it goes. You know, and so crying about it rarely helps. But you know, unless the action of crying like gets certain people's attention and gets them to act. So yeah. But yeah, no, it's well, I'm glad that I can be in the AKAI League. So I was sad about yesterday, but it's okay. But I think it looks good. I'm really glad that a lot of people are able to play and getting good matches in. I think it's wonderful, and I'm glad that I can play with Blonde One. It's been a long time. I missed him, Blondie. So yeah.
Europe right now we have currently 40-4 undefeated, and the next person closest is Kirikam with just 1 loss, and Wazanov and Rodrigo is just 2 losses. We're in the last round for Europe also. Let me just check with Govindarga. It's a good way to just get off the bus, just going through like your own group kumite. This is a shared kumite. Everyone plays against everybody. That's one way to say it. I think there was one time in which we got all 3 leagues, 16 players. So it's nice. So that became like a really like a endurance run.
For sure.
All right, let me go check with.
Ripper's calling out Reaper for watching. Hey, 2 scoops of face. Hope you're doing really good. Glad to be in the room with you again, and always appreciating your support. Hope the Sarah's been going really, really good. And also, I assume you guys already talked about Frosty Faustings?
We have not, but we did talk about that yesterday while it was running.
Okay, awesome. It was a really fun tournament.
Bernard was earlier here asking about the stream in which he has not watched it, so he told me not to talk about it. But
gotcha.
Maybe he's already gone.
No, it's okay. We're not going to spoil for people can still watch it. People do please watch it if you haven't. This tournament was a lot of fun, and Shadosha and Team Chris did an amazing job on commentary.
And speaking of Shadosha, he is right now nominated for a Commentator of the Year 2025. So if you haven't voted for Evo Awards, go vote for Shadosha, who is representing Virtua Fighter. And that link I just posted is the archive to the Frosty Faustings top 8 that we finished yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, so AKAI has just posted the link on AKAI VF. I'll try to get the link for you guys. 2 scoops. Let me see. Oh, I have to change my display 1 sec. By the way, on the Chanchai stream, can you guys tell me if you can hear the game audio or not? If you cannot hear it, please let me know. Even though it shows up on my monitoring device and everything else, sometimes it doesn't output it on the stream. And so that's why I asked you guys to let me know if you can hear the game audio or not.
This match between Waru and Bot 4 is important because Kirikam is staying behind, seeing what's going to happen. And 45 for this does win it, so he will take first place. L Blaze player from Poland. Close.
So, one of the tricky things for finding the stream yesterday was that it wasn't. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, let me just finish that. Kirikam gets second, and Wazanov gets third place. I thank you guys for playing, and we'll get things ready for the second league. All right, sorry, Chan, you can go continue.
Okay, well, one of the tricky things yesterday's Virtua Fighter stream was that it was streamed on the channel that not many people are familiar with, and they posted it under Virtua Fighter 5 Revo, not Revo World Stage. So I don't blame them for that one. That said, that's why I kind of wish that they had just kept with the Revo for like on the social media designations, because having the world stage makes it extra confusing. Not for the name in the game, but for how it's listed on stuff. But that's decisions. Let me see here. What was the name of that stream? It was Unrivaled Tournaments. So Unrivaled Tournaments. These are not tournaments for the game Unrivaled. These are a group that streams unrivaled fighting game tournaments.
Alright guys, we have one more match before we begin the North America room. I just see the walkthrough just exited, so maybe try and collect a great connection with somebody. Just double check and make sure there's no great connections. If there is, please let me know so that I don't accidentally start the league without you, because if you try accidentally re-enter to fix it. Alright.
It's a lot of broadcasts to go through. I will find this Virtua Fighter broadcast. The hard part with me reading one on on an iOS device and then using PC for another device. It's not being able to just copy and paste.
Everyone in North America looks good connection-wise. I mean, I said no gray bars.
Double sound. Okay, thanks for letting me know that there's double sound. That's good to hear. In a way. Alright, do you hear the double game sound now? Or do you hear any game sound now? Logan, let me know if it... Oh, you had 2 tabs open. Okay, I'm gonna reopen that audio.
Red bars we think is will be fine. We believe it is part of the visual bug that was on patch 1.08. So no gray bars is what we want to make sure. I am going to post Europe stuff in other sites, and then once we get that posted, we'll start a countdown for Europe's second league. Awesome.
The Unrivaled tournaments, was it lumped in with the Tekken as well? Or which one was this here? I'll just click and double scroll through it. The only thing about Twitch is jumping through videos is not always the most fun experience. On my stream I'll share it later, but AKAI stream he did post the archive link.
All right, we're gonna begin the North American with trial players. Good luck.
Good
Have
luck.
fun. May the VF Netcode gods be kind to all you guys.
Those are like some ominous words by AKAI. Alright, let's see here. Okay, so I'm glad that the game audio is working out for you guys. Let me know if it sounds echoey, if it's doubled up, right? Let me know if there's any trouble with it, and let me know if you can't hear me. But yeah, Nala, good to see you. Hope you're doing really good. When I hear World Stage, I think of single player mode. Yeah, no, I think so too. It's what it is, you know. It's branding, and it is true that they want to distinguish it so that you do buy it but yeah, even though those are not different products. All right, Metawatt, here we go. Good. I like the catch star. I was about to evade the wrong way. That's kind of why I hesitated. So I didn't elbow here, that was my problem. Anyways, we're gonna wake up now that we've got everything going. Right now, I need to change the angle of my stick, of my controller. I am like that. Got it. Alright, let's move. Let's like make our setup comfortable here. Okay, so he does need to learn how to defend against Leon's side turn game. And we're going to take advantage of that, of course. And he does go for a low punch or high punch a lot. Good to know. Good. And I'm getting killed on evade here. That's gonna kill me. Alright, so I'm making a lot of mistakes too. Like I'm playing with on my back foot, and that's okay. And then, but again, he goes for crush, my screen just blacked. Alright, I'm okay, I can see the game again. The crushes are good though. Like the crushes are really nailing me. So what are the crushes? He's doing like crouching low attack. Screwhook's not a crush, that's just a speed call out. And then he evades, right? His use of evade and low punch actually is the things that are causing a type of sort of like the evade is calling out certain. Well, it's like an evade and commitment, so it's not like it doesn't look like he's confirming when he evades. Looks like he's just used to evading and then attacking right away, because even when he evades a low punch, he'll like out hit some people on some stuff, and so that's good. And so that's been working for him. His 6-2K has a nice timing into it where it's used to a lot of people moving into at a certain sequence. That 6-2K, it's not often enough, and it happens at the right spots. It's really good. Alright, we're gonna get warmed up here. Alright, that's asking for ring out. Ring out. He should ring out. Nope. So we're gonna call out there. We're gonna challenge them on wake up. We're gonna say, sometimes we're like, how good is your meaty? And it's also, here's the thing about meaties, they're dynamic. So, you know, the person waking up gets to mess with the timing of that meaty. Like, what is the good timing? Except Akira has certain Okizeme where it's like there's it's complete. So yeah. John Chai, what's the break for Jackie's flip over the leg throw? It's back throw. It's back and throw. The input is, as they said, it's 6-4, which means it's forward and then back. Yep. Alright. So he's gonna fight neutral, and that's good. And we're losing on the neutral because we're a lightweight character. So we gotta do moves like this. And then, but it is scary, right? Here we thought he might defend. But we can also play mash rate, and it works as long as you time it and make contact. But if you don't make contact with a lightweight character, you're in trouble. Okay, so what's everyone saying here? Yo, that fight was the closest fight I've ever had against you. That was a lot of fun. You did awesome. You did really good, my friend. Metawa, it's so good to see you. Your sequences are scary because they're very strong sequences. The opponent, when they respond to a certain thing, are likely to get hit pretty hard on the next thing. And so there's a really good improvisational sequence you're going through that you run the opponent through, and I like it. And it is using crush, which Wolf can do, but it uses it in a subtle way. I like it. Stuff that I like to do too. This Blaze guessing game. Okay, that's guard break. Does he ring himself out? Okay. I really felt like I was baiting him to do a low. But he was not going to take it. It's just mid is clear. Okay, I like that crouch dash. Caused a delay. So that was a delay attack in a good way. Okay, I thought he would go for a throw here, but he didn't, which is good. so I guessed wrong. Okay, now he's going to use back throw. It's very good. I'm probably going to lose this one, but we'll get there. Almost. I was so hoping to get that would ring him out, that we can get him to ring out. Oh, he went for it. Okay. That was really good. I guessed wrong this time too. So he did go for the mid this time, which was really good. Or EX. Was it EX high? I tried to crouch under, but I must have hit the button early, if that was EXI. No, but it looked like normal hit. So that must have been, yeah, he must have gone for mid. That was really good. Was the throw guaranteed? I'm not sure. Not sure. Very nice. That 3-3P is totally going to win a lot of stuff if you're slow. That was intense battle technique. Very intense battle. Good game. Good round. Good round. So Techne is a cool friend. It's Logan. I don't know if it's Logan and Nestle there, but I hope so because I'm happy to see them. Like I really like their Akira and they're playing good. I'm starting to get a little sharper again. Like I'm starting to see confirmed situations a little bit on whiff. Oh, that was intense. The good thing is also like he's got like a mixed rhythm, and that mixed rhythm right now it's mixing me up a bit. It's getting me to hesitate a little, and once it gets you to hesitate because you're unsure of what to, if you're not sure, if you're not locked in on your opponent's rhythm, that's when you can get mixed up. That's when you can feel a little confused or a little like, oh okay, and that's when you get yourself like getting counter hit. And so that's like being out of sync. And I think good game, man, good game. And so it is you, yes, really good game. And so I was gonna say you can relate to this because it's very musical, it's very rhythmic, right? It's like if you're not in sync with your bandmates, like there's a lot of discord, there's a lot of like noise, and that's what's happening in the read, right? It's like I'm not in sync with him, you know, and he's going a little fast, he's going a little slow, and it's like, oh man, I'm getting nailed. And Akira's good at that, right? That's when you use like 3-3. You're used to 3-3P does that, right? Like I'm like, okay, I can attack now. Then I get like sucker punched with that thing. Yes, Akira very much. When you play him, you can hear an Akira player. When you're in an offline scene, you can hear Akira. Oh, that sucked. All right. Wrong way. Good. 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 You should reverse. Normally he usually reverse. I like that for 6B. I think the thing that's improved in my fight against Setsuna is how to fight the neutral against his Akira. That was so good. I like that call out for the backdash. I like that very much. This thing too. The timing of it is gonna nail me for doing ECD to try to cover my bases there. I thought the second kick would have gotten him, but it still whiffed. Yeah, don't try to throw at the end. He's gonna go aggressive. He did throw. That was good. We got it. Good game, my friend. Good game. That was very stressful, but very, very fun as always. Always very fun. I think I've improved like my decisions in the neutral against Setsuna, and also just adjusting like the way that I'm watching him has changed too. Yeah, but yeah, like Logan said, Techne said, doing the harder inputs for Akira is very rhythmic, and so yeah, you can hear Akira when you're in the arcades. I love it. I love that it's expressive. Like Akira is percussion, the fighting game character. Alright, we're doing a lot of mistakes here, but I like the way Blondie has always been really good. Let's see if he knows. He knows! That was intense. That was such an awesome round. First time we fought in years. This is such a fun round. Oh my god. I love fighting Blonde One. Blonde One is so good. He's gonna say he's rusty, but it's like, you know, he's still good. I thought I can evade that. I thought about crushing this, but it was really not sure. But that uncertainty got me. That was so good. So much fun. So now this is where we knowledge check him so that we fast forward him getting used to Leon again. And also getting used to Tranchai Leon. Okay, good. Good game, my friend. This is why he's gonna say he's rusty, but he is so strong. As you guys can tell, Blondie is really, really strong. And is he rusty? Yeah, I mean, it's just like he's learning, but he's sharp as hell. I don't like calling sharp as hell rusty, you know? But yes, is there a lot to catch up on? Sure, but I'm glad he's playing VF. I'm so happy he's here. I'm so excited to fight, man. So KC74, good to see you. It says, practice empty mind. By the way, I met in person. I think it was same event. No, different events. Because the second time I saw you, Mr. Casey, was when was the same time around the same time that I met Blondie in person. But the first time I met you was before that. So if my memory's correct, that could be way off. Memory is a funny thing. Practice empty mind or mission and rely on your training. Yes, preset plans rarely work. 100%. Happy Sunday to you. It is great advice. Great advice. It is really, really good advice, and I agree with that. Hey RJ, here we go. So RJ usually is aggressive. He's playing a bit more passively right now. That's good. All right. I like what I'm seeing from RJ though. I really do. These are good though. He is scaring me with stuff. I feel like I'm stepping up what I'm responding to, and I'm starting to make a little bit better choices on some of these. All right, taking the hit was not really a thing there. Okay. I do think I'm almost at the point where I'll be double evading Jeffrey in the future. I think I'm not far from there. But that's a very risky thing to do against him, actually. Good fight, RJ. That last round actually was very, very close. And I'm glad that I spaced it out just right. So thank you very much for that fight.
See? I thought I'm better.
Very much can be, yeah. Well, with Jeffrey, trying... like you and I have to try not to make it a damage race. So yeah. So Lohai is the Tekken World Tour champion. Congratulations to Lohai. Lohai is an awesome player. Also fellow Golden Lever user. So you know. So Lohai is also a big fan of arcade stick Indonesia, like I am. But I'm a big fan of a lot of different arcade sticks. So, hey, Bummy Rushy, good to see you. How are you doing, man? I hope you're doing really, really well. We should do a sparring session sometime, and we should just hang out sometime. Even though I haven't had much time to hang out lately, nor the budget. I've been very tight on budget lately. Just really keeping it, just trying to manage everything okay. But playing a gacha game is probably really evil for that too. So playing Jeffrey can definitely feel that way. That said, Jeffrey is I feel like Wolf forces guesses more, but Jeffrey, you can make some really big mistakes against him very easily, and he can like flip the situation on you pretty hard. That's what scares me about Jeffrey, right? But he's knowledge checking you like a lot too, or he can. But I think he doesn't like to be knowledge checked either. All right, 2 scoops. Are you doing okay, my friend? Go ahead and tag me with a jab, and then we'll fight. When you if you're busy, it's okay. All right, there we go. We're fight. Nice. Okay, so in that case, that was a situation where you were at a disadvantage because you had whiffed, and so you have to recognize that. Because you attacked again. Very nice. Very nice. Now, she out-hit me when I thought this 4-4K was going to nail her, but I was just, because I was playing on reaction timing too much. What do I mean by that? Oh, that would have been so cool. That, I was too late. Alright, we'll do this. Our timing is slightly, it's not that our timing's off, that we're responding a little more, and so I have to adjust to the way that I'm responding. I have to either speed up my, choose to respond sooner, or I have to, just adjust my play to accommodate the speed that I'm responding to things. but it also means that I'm like trying to force too much too. So that's meaning adjusting the play, meaning that you don't try to force so much. You just, play it a little, cool it off a little. Like, you're not that fast yet. Make the adjustment based on how you're playing. I like his. So he's using delay attack because he doesn't like being set up for counter hit, and so, but he doesn't want you to like block mid string and then do it. So he's more likely to complete his strings, and so, but that does leave him open to a different type of play. So, yeah. So, on this stream, I think we can talk about the tournament. I think a crazy drunk was watching Akai's stream and said not to talk about it. So, but overall, without spoiling anything, I can say that I think that the grand finals was very exciting, and I think the grand finals had a story that it was telling. So yeah, and I think it's a very fun story, very fun one. So I think that grand finals was pretty exciting. But the tournament itself had a lot, right? There were a lot of that tournament, of course, was representing the generations for the Ultimate Showdown and Revo generations of Virtua Fighter players, which I think is wonderful. That said, the veterans that are in there are players like Shag, players like Jacko, and so they kind of represented more of an old guard there. But there was a lot more newer generation at this tournament, and everything was great. The matches were really good. I don't know Chris from New York, so Chris was definitely really good to watch, and I'm not as familiar, but a lot of people are. So, and I think they also go by the handle It's Just Chris. I'm not familiar with Monroe, but Monroe was really good. I love seeing Especia do quite well. I love seeing Sente from Ohio doing quite well. And I love seeing everyone. I mean, XTN is from my region, and XTN is a training partner of mine. And so I was really happy to see XTN's run and Fence's run. And Tengu Man always plays amazing in tournaments, at like offline and online, but they're very scary at tournaments. I think it's almost like because of their whimsical nature, when you play them in casuals or online, you'll get a lot of looks at them because they want to try stuff out. But, they've consistently been an amazing tournament player. I'd argue they're a better tournament player. And so, Combo Breaker like 3 years ago, Combo Breaker after that, Evo later, and then last year's Frosty Faustings, they were like the strongest American player at Frosty Faustings last year. So Tengu Man has consistently, I don't think they have to prove themselves, but I do think people have to pay attention, So, and at tournaments, Tengu Man plays like exceptional, like they conduct themselves so well in tournaments. Does it get them to ultimately win the tournament? It gets them something like it gets them to be tournament worthy. And so they're playing on that level, but they're also fighting against other people also fighting on that level. So yeah, so there's that too. Again, I haven't even spoiled anything. I just kind of spoke about each player vaguely because I know some people haven't watched the tournament yet, but I hope you guys do because I do want to talk about that tournament. That's right. Bronx Jacket's gonna play this way. So now I'm gonna try to sync my strategy with the way that I think he makes his options. It's more about the speed that he makes his options, and then the types of choices he makes because of that speed. because of how he's going to sequence. I like that. I like that a lot. That was really cool. Dang Jackie. Jackie, Leon's 8K is good against Jackie, but it's easy to be a little off and combo the wrong way. Alright, good games, my friend. Good games. So, yeah, with Bronx Jackie, I think I tried to. I'm looking at his pace of play, and kind of the rhythm of his play, right? And when I say that, I mean it is kind of an extended version of, are they buffering? Are they not buffering? Are they delaying? Are they delaying on accident, or are they delaying on purpose? And you feel that out. And when you feel that out, that you can make, after you learn the game enough and get strong with your character enough, you can start making decisions around those things. Just on that generalization of the opponent. And so, and then it's like, let's see how they handle, when I do that. Blurring is doing amazing. Blurring is got all wins here. And so it's just me and Blurring. That's the only match that's left for my match. Is I'll be fighting Blurring next. But Blurring is amazing, and he's been playing awesome. And Blurring's scary because he goes straight at you. He's like a hard read player, so he's going straight at you. And so sometimes if you're a step ahead of him, that can be rough on him. But you also have to stay a step ahead of him, that's the harder part. But if he's got you and you don't get out of that rut, you don't make the adjustment, you're dead. So he's going to play patiently. All right. Dang, Vanessa. I love this. So he has this on lock, and I do forget it every time. But he also forgets this one, so. Good, he remembered. All right, we got it. Good game, Blurring. Good game. So we were able to stay a step ahead of him the whole time here, but really we were able to watch what he was, the strategy he was going for. At the start, he wanted to be very patient and then kind of see what it was that I was going to tend to do. But after that, I kind of was able to just guess right and apply pressure on him. I use spacing a lot against Blurring because that's actually the way that but I turn that spacing is reactive, but it is another form of guess too, because the guessing becomes when do they commit, when do they you start reading when they're gonna go for it or not, and when they're gonna be more passive. And sometimes you can make plays that are gonna cause somebody that's more passive and more patient to kind of watch for something and maybe misgauge because they think you're gonna do the second thing, stuff like that. So a lot of that plays happening. But then there's everything that was really, every time we were close up for more than like 3 contacts is when we would have like really powerful guesses against each other, right? Because he like, if Leon does low punch, if I hit him with low punch, he's gonna go for that intruder hook, and that intruder hook is like because it's gonna beat my uppercut. and I have trouble getting myself to not do the uppercut, and then it's like my brain would want to switch to throw. Well, okay, intruder hook beats both the throw and the uppercut, so now it's like, okay, low punch 4-4K, backdash 4-4K, something like that. That's something I've got to like build as my response to that. So I need to work on that, because right now intruder hook is the reverse mix-up. It's like, nope, uppercut throw is not working here. I've hacked that mix-up, right? That's what Blurring's Vanessa is doing, is like it's hacked the mix-up of uppercut versus throw. So, and Virtua Fighter has lots of these ways of hacking a mix-up. That's what I love about this game. You have really powerful mix-ups, but then your opponent's going to have has multiple hacks for it. They just have to find them. And when you find those hacks, it changes things, because now the opponent's got to move off of it or die or keep repeating it, So it's wonderful. I love this game so much. So, yeah. All right, let's join AKAI's chat. And that was a very fun league battle for me, actually.
North America, congratulations to Chanchef game first place. Second place goes to Blurring, and third place goes to is it the Rock Reaper? I apologize. I was doing multiple things that had my mic muted earlier. So let me go post around to see. It was third place was the Rock Reaper, right? Did I get that wrong?
I cannot remember, but if we look at the win percentages now, it might help. So it looks like it was the Rock Reaper, but then somebody could have left the room and I wouldn't know. So yeah, I was busy chatting with my stream, so I wasn't paying attention to the scoreboard. So, but I had a lot of fun, and it was exciting battle. And I explained to my chat about how right now Blurring's use of the intruder hook is very scary. They've kind of hacked like my mix-up. If I low punch, I'm likely to do like uppercut or throw, and Vanessa's intruder hook will just beat both. So it's like, do a different mix-up when you hit with low. I have to do a different mix-up when I hit with low punch. So it's good. It's good stuff.
Just post it there. One more place.
Yeah, it's been so much fun. I really had a blast fighting Blondie. I know Blondie is quote unquote rusty, but they're sharp as heck. It's just more the rustiness is like the knowledge stuff, like remembering a lot of stuff or learning stuff. But Blondie is very terrifying. I love fighting their Jackie. It's very, very intense. So.
Oh yeah, Blondie was definitely very scary.
Yeah. It's very scary. On my stream, I commented in my match with you, Setsuna, that like I think I've just kind of like, it's just kind of maybe the way that I'm reacting in the neutral is just a little different, and so I think that's kind of changing the way that our matches are going a bit, But I like it. But I think it's one of those things where I think that's the adjustment I made that's making it harder for the moment. But you do some very terrifying things, and when you come in and there are certain choices that are very, very scary though, so I have to like remind myself, yeah, even if you make this adjustment in the neutral, really watch out for that. Figure out where I have to like see where my blind spot is for the way that I've been playing that matchup, and sometimes you're very good at showing me like, oh, there's the blind spot.
Yeah.
So, you will always have everyone, like, that's my advice in VF2, is that you will always have blind spots for how you're playing. So you have to cover those blind spots. Figuring out what those blind spots are is part of the journey in this game. And it has to do with your option choices or your mix-ups. You're like, okay, if I'm playing this way, it's and even if I'm really sharp, it's vulnerable to this, to this way of playing or this option. So that's what makes Setsuna so scary. Okay, what's up, AKAI?
After this vote, we'll start to count down 5 matches before we start the North America League. In particular, we got him enjoying. Excuse me. So I told people to ignore the web bar connections, and Sasuna and General Whipper ignored it, and the first match they crashed or disconnected. So that's why General Whipper left. So we do have a little hurdles that I guess if you don't normally have, if you usually always have good connections with everyone in the room, and you see red now after patch 1.08, then just ignore the red indicator. But if before patch 1.08, you have at times where you get gray or something red or something with the other player, maybe that is something that we should try to accidentally enter. But I don't know. we were given seconds testing us. Should we trust our eyes or not trust our eyes?
I don't know. I think for a little bit, but if something looks odd, like somebody that's really close to you with a red, I think that should be kind of like you should be thinking about that.
Yeah. Platinum Trophy on my stream asked, are they going to give news for VF6 at the next tournament? News is a complicated word. I'm actually expecting to see something of VF6 there, though, personally. They're really hyping up a lot of stuff. This event, they're actually marketing the Virtua Fighter Open Championship tournament. They want people to go, and they really make it clear that you're gonna meet devs there, you're gonna meet people there. So I have a strong feeling that that there will be some kind of news there, and at least we will see more VF6 there. That's what I do believe. So very certain of it.
If you live in Japan or plan to visit Japan around the Global Finals, which is March 1st,
you really gotta go.
Spectating it, the event is free. There'll be side tournaments, side prizes, and spectator gifts handed out. Michio Yamada did wrote somewhere that I think it was in the tweet where basically he hinted that the next time news for new VF will be when the snow thaws.
He made it very poetic. Yes.
Spring winter transition, so March. So yeah.
Unless you're in Australia, unless you're in the southern hemisphere, but this event is in the northern hemisphere, so yes. So in the thawing of the winter, into spring, we will probably see something blossom from this event.
Yeah, Yamada did say that 2026 will be the year of where they reveal basically the majority of the VF6 stuff. It's funny. He basically wrote that he's very excited, but he's also nervous. Basically, it sounds like every time he's trying something new with the new VF, it's trial and error to see what actually works and not work. It's kind of like what we're experiencing right now with Ultimate Showdown, Level World Stage. It's a lot of trial and error to see what works and not work.
Yeah, but I think they're going bold with the new VF, and I think it's correct for them to do that. But I do think it's, there's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of us that love it, and there's going to be some of us that hate it. That happens every time there's a new game. But I'm pretty excited for it, and I think if they weren't doing that, then I know that some people would feel like they should do more of the same, and I was like, I don't think more of the same has ever really worked, So I think it's just, but I know that I love this game, so in the worst case scenario, I'll keep playing this game, but let's hope for better room connections.
Yes, this will last for a very long time afterwards. If new VF does not is not to your liking. I mean, there's still a very strong group of people in Japan who plays Virtua Fighter regularly. So there's room for if you're really a fan of the game, there's always ways to keep it alive if people want to. I hope I will like Virtua Fighter 6 or new VF or whatever they want to call it.
Platinum Trophy also says, I'm a little nervous because I hope they don't do what MK1 did to their fans. Now, I won't get into the MK directly, but what I will say is that, like I said, they are going to make some changes. And look, they're making changes in art direction too. That that some fans are just not gonna like, but I do think that this game has to be made for new fans. And I think the new Virtua Fighter has to be made for new fans, but of course it's definitely trying to make us happy too. They're giving us so much attention. We've never had this much attention for Virtua Fighter. Like outside of Japan, we've never had this. And so the amount of attention that they've given and the amount that they actually ask us and take that feedback and put it somewhere has been more than I've ever experienced in this community. So they do want us, but the game is definitely, for all logical reasons and for all commercial reasons and all return on investment reasons, the game has to be winning a completely, like, at this point it does have to win a completely new audience. And its goals are set very high. But they also brought in veterans, veteran developers. Not all, but they brought in some veteran developers to help them keep things on the rails, you know. And also from my understanding, they've given them really good spots in the team. So it's really important to understand they're serious about the game. They're serious about the legacy. They really are. But this is definitely a new game.
Alright guys, we have 3 more matches before we start the North America last league. We got 13 players right now in the room. We got 4 Wududa and Jen Whipper joining back again. So check and make sure you guys don't have any gray bar connections with each other before we start league. And if you have someone that looks really circumstantial, your connection with that person, go ahead and try exit re-enter to fix it. But right now we're dealing with what we knew before 1.08 and the new stuff of 1.08. They're really testing our should we believe what we see with our own eyes. Excuse me. Alright, we get to see Govindarga versus Wazanev on the Europe Second League. 2 more matches. Let's see if 4 Woo Dude will come back, or is this accidentally enter to fix things. And the RJ was accidentally entering. Let's see if that is. RJ back in. Let's see if what we do is trying to fix this. And if you do have a gray bar connection with someone, just let me know so that I know that you're just accidentally re-enter to fix it, so that we can try and coordinate things. And because I have a cough, I've been trying to mute myself so I don't keep coughing in the mic. I noticed that I've been trying to talk with the mic off quite a bit, so sorry about that. Alright, thanks for letting me know before we do. Are they preventing you from? Okay. So once you join the room, we'll see if that fixes it. If not, we'll ask someone else to ask. Awesome, RJ's good. It's for forward dude. Can get back in. Govidarga wins this match against Wasanov. Govidarga is from Italy and Wasanov is from France. Yeah.
Is he from France? Because Rezanov speaks Spanish. Every European person speaks more than 2 languages anyways.
I believe he's from France. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Alright, we right now have Sandro as the only person with 1 loss. Everyone else has a couple of losses here and there. Next course is Govidarga. Yeah, we have this issue. Yeah, let's try that before we do. Apologies. This is something that everyone's had to deal with. You sometimes can't get back into a room to bounce 0 bug, or you have the gray bar connection. But we'll definitely wait for you to try to get in before we start. Even though I say it's 1 more match before we start, we'll make sure we'll give before we do a chance to try to get back into the room. And we really don't see a. Are the people working on are they're veteran developers. Sign Assassin. This is on the YouTube chat. They brought back the original developers, computer programmers, whatever you, from Virtua Fighter 5. So they do have experience, but they did say that when they were trying to update Ultimate Showdown to Revel, or to change the game system, it did took a while to remember all the coding that they did or something. And so there's still a little learning from just not developing the game for so long time. So yeah, it is seasoned VF developers for the new VF project. Alright, awesome. We are gluttons of VF. We'll try as best to get in. Got 13 players. Hopefully this time we'll get no disconnects. So after this match between Metrowatt and 2 Scuba Face, we'll start the league with 13 players. Odd number of players, everyone will get either one round bye. If it's even, no breaks. Alright, we're gonna begin. Good luck, guys. Have fun.
Good luck, guys.
Good luck. Good luck. Have fun. Cheers. All right, here we are. All right, so this is league battle number 3. It's been a lot of fun. General Ripper is here. Hell yeah. Always gives me hell. Always gives me hell. Forcing me to guess. Can't react your way out of a guess. Out of a forced guess, you know? Unless he makes the mistake. But the way that he plays, he's got those forced guesses on point. I like to play guesses along like a more dynamic stream. He likes to really force that play like as much as possible. It's good. It's good. It's a strong way to play. Yeah, the 6K will always be a throw. This is like really risky when it's like there are other options you can do, but that is his fastest slow. This one again. That one's the correct way to play against me too. Like this is when you throw, because this is when I'm gonna misgauge the range because I'm not sure how the result is. Oh, that 4P plus K has got too much range. I was hoping. Oh my god, catch throw. Catch throw wins against the mashing. I was so hoping sidekick was in time. The rising attack, this side roll rising attack low timing is different. I had a bigger combo, but I'm like not sure. I'm so gonna lose this game. I don't think that was guaranteed, but it was close. My brain told me to attack there. It's getting closer. It's getting closer to reacting. This 6K gets me here, so this is some situation I have to watch here. In this resulting situation that led to that 6K, it's something that gets me a lot in this against this matchup, where I'm not expecting that 6K to hit me there. Not at all. I do some movement option, and then I think I can out-hit that 6K, and I still get hit by it. So I need to watch that replay and burn into my brain what that situation is and get comfortable with what leads into that situation, because it's gotten me many times against Reaper. Not today, but in my brain I know that it's a blind spot for me right now. Yep, I'm in it for the ride for sure. I do think they'll add new characters. Yeah, I definitely think there's going to be new characters. There's always going to. You have to. You don't have to, but it's like you should. All right. I like this 2K plus G has enough range to beat this backdash here, but it was because I attacked? I don't know. I like that. Good. Back throw was the correct one. I didn't do that. That would have been cool if that worked. That was bad. All right. Hey, I got a trophy on the PlayStation. I haven't played as much during World Stage, not nearly as much as I'd like. So, I think sometime I'm definitely going to be going through World Stage mode on the PS5. But I'm definitely going to take this account on ranked. This game has not played ranked once on. No, it did. It did in. No, it didn't play ranked in. When I was in Thailand, I played in rooms. I joined rooms. So we'll see. Blonde one is it blonde one that fought against Setsuna? Alright, Blurring, here we go. We're watching Blurring versus Blonde one. This is going to be very fun to watch, but I think Blondie's pace of play is very overwhelming, so we'll see. Very nice low kick to cut off the sweep. Does show how slow sweep is. Don't take offense to this, but there's not much of an audience from 2006, right? Ain't you like one of the OGs of this game? No offense taken. I am one of the OGs. I do have a lot of friends I still play with and still chat with, but you know, and the best part is that I've been playing with a lot of new people in this game, so that counters that argument. So yeah, no offense taken. It's a good question, but actually we're fighting I've been fighting many generations of players in this game. And the good thing about a good game is that it doesn't need to have everyone playing it for you to enjoy it. I mean, some people need that, but for me, I just need a few good opponents. But I have a ton of opponents, and I've played this game with players from all over the world. Lots of players from all over the world. So lots from North America, lots from Korea, from Japan. I was just in Taiwan. I was just in Thailand. In Europe, Canada, and South America lately. So I have more than enough opponents, good opponents, and strong opponents. And I love teaching this game, and that's why I love playing with a lot of newer generation players and new players, and I see a lot of them. But I also like competing, and I do like fighting it out in this game, and I get a lot of that from a lot of people. But even if it was a few people, it's enough to make me super happy because the game just plays so good. Because what matters is what's fun, right? And it's what matters what's fun for you. So some people, so for me, I'm playing this game with lots of people all the time, so I don't have that problem. But I definitely understand the need for the game to succeed to have, you know, an insane amount of people playing all the time. And so I get that. And I think when you're new to a game, it's definitely the thing that's going to appeal to you and what you're going to need. But the game itself is so good that that even if I didn't have a lot of people to play with, I'm having a blast because it's the quality of the opponents, it's the quality of the matchups, it's who you're fighting. But I have a ton of opponents, and I'm fortunate that enough people know me that, like, if I ask for a match, I can usually get a match, and I know the people to reach out to fight, and I've formed a lot of friendships in this game all around the world. I also played in China, and I played with a lot of players in China as well, and I had a blast. And I talk with the players in Southeast Asia, including the Philippines. So I'm in a good spot for me, but I do want it to be in a better spot for everyone else. So yeah, it's all good. But this game is amazing, and there's a lot of new people that are really strong. So it's just a lazy argument to think that, like, you can't get good at the game. I mean, all games are like that, right? That's like saying you can't get good at chess or you can't get good at Go. You can get good at those games. You can get good at Virtua Fighter. But yeah, no offense taken. And by the way, Platinum Trophy, so far I loved all of your interactions on my chat, by the way, including this one. You've always been very respectful, and you've also been asking good questions, and that's really helps me a lot. Good games, Setsuna. Whew, that was a really fun game. Right now, I've been giving a lot of trouble to Setsuna on these types of things. But he is such a smart player, and he's very crafty. And Akira is terrifying. Akira often makes you guess between attacking and defending in a way that is very oppressive. Now, Setsuna is good at punishing you for what you want to do and getting you in weird spots on that guess. And right now, I'm just lining up where those guesses are, and it's working for me. but all it takes is a slight adjustment from him to just suddenly put me back on my back foot to where I'm on a lopsided guess again against Akira. And so in our matchups, we'll see how that goes, but that's how it feels, yeah. Alright. Let's do this 2 scoops.
Round 3. Ready?
Oh, that was nice. I like that. That was cool. I do want to know what I did there. 'Cause I kind of want to integrate that sometime. That was so cool that I got the back 10 situation there. Like that. Very nice. 2 scoops is getting a lot sharper here. And I messed up. If I make an error, I'm in trouble. Very fun game. That was intense, 2 scoops. That was so much fun. Good games. Very good stuff. That second round was pretty awesome. I like a lot of what I'm seeing. Keep it up. Keep it up. I feel like you're the type of player that absorbs situations. And so like me, like you start with aggression, which is what I do. And you just get yourself to see more and more. And so I'm enjoying it a lot. All right, rematch with Blondie. This might not go so nice. This might go so pretty rough. We'll see. Very good. Very good. I like that a lot. Again, I like his decision points. Blondie has always been like this for as long as I've known him. Look at, I had to get the opportunity. I've screwed up that input twice today, where I got back punch instead of forward punch. So it's like I don't think it's deflection. I think it's deflection, but it's me mismanaging my inputs. Oh crap, that sucked. I was always thinking, good game, Blondie. That was such a fun battle. That was a really, really fun battle. I'm glad that the connection didn't really mess up our the results of our decisions, because we were going to make the same decisions we did there. But that was a really, really fun battle. I did botch up a couple of inputs that did cost me, but I don't know if they would have won the rounds. But I had a blast. The change in approach, I wish that there were certain EX highs that I saw coming and I didn't duck them like I normally would. And I wish I did, but that's okay. I don't know if I was sharp enough to actually punish, but I would have been sharp enough to at least force a mix-up right away. And so it was a lot of fun. I really like the way that Blondie plays, and I'm glad he's playing, so I hope we fight some more. That was so much fun. Yeah, by the way, I really like Tampa Never Sleeps. The staff there are really, really nice when I've chatted with them on Discord, and I like the way they run events. Now, Florida has its challenges logistically for the online tournaments, so there are challenges with that, but they have been pretty awesome. They've done like a good job on everything, and they cover the technical side too. They do what they can, but I really have liked Tampa Never Sleeps, and I like the way that they've been helping Sega with. From what I can tell, I like the way that they've been helping in their events. This is interesting. It's interesting what I'm losing to here. Okay, that was just me being dumb. Okay, I like that blurring changed their low throw. They used to always do down. I'm glad that that's a different low throw. That matters. Now I have to actually think about if they're going to do a different low throw. And I'm still being dumb because I'm still confusing that situation for a different one. I like this crouch dash. That totally got me. That crouch dash was superb. Tong is cool, yeah. Okay, I didn't know about that combo, but it's good. Alright, offense stance. Good. Oh, that would have been it. That was dumb of me. So that was dumb, but that was a good game. It was a really good battle. Blurring completely earned that. I have to recenter myself. Right now, there's parts of me that's thinking ahead of what's going on. Probably because I'm managing the conversation of this, but it's not really that. It's like I embrace that challenge. I'm like, I want to play better while my brain is where it's at right now, because sometimes I find myself in this spot in matches, especially ranked. Not so much in tournaments though sometimes, but sometimes like in ranked, I will be feeling this way. And so I want to manage it better. I want to improve how I play when my brain is feeling this way, with how out of sync or in sync it is with how I'm playing and with what the opponent's throwing at me. So I like it a lot. I'm always about use the situations, improve yourself in a lot of different situations and train yourself for them, and also enjoy it. Enjoy that process. It makes competing a lot more fun, and it makes fighting a lot more fun. And the good thing is that, you know, like league battles run you through it really fast. Yes, you're gonna lose when you don't want to lose, but you're gonna you're gonna have to deal with the problem much quicker and get better at solving the problem faster. Alright, nice round, GG. By the way, GG is really cool. I don't know them too well, but I've always enjoyed the fights and the support. Are they gonna go low? No, they went with mid. Mid is important though. In this stage, you have to be careful of the mid option. That mid option can ring you out. So it's like, it becomes just take the low sometimes. Yeah, Subterm, tell me about it. Tell me more about them too, because I don't know enough about Tampa Never Sleeps. I just know that in their capacity with VF, they've been pretty awesome. And they've just been like on top of things as best they can. But honestly, it means like, but like the attention is there. So yeah, so I really like Tampa Never Sleeps. When I was in Bangkok, I got to meet I got to see the company Elephant a bit, and who does a lot of fighting game events in that region, and I like what they do too. I think I am under the impression they might be working with Sega on the Virtua Fighter Open Championships. I have a feeling they might be, but they've been really cool. Their staff was really nice. So those are two really good organizations that I like in the past couple of years, right? Tampa Never Sleeps and Elephant. Elephant with an I. So ELIPHANT. And yeah, this year is going to be interesting to see how. I think at the VFOC they're going to announce what they're going to do for the rest of the year in promoting through tournaments. Remember, last year is the first time Sega really dived into promoting directly with the FGC the way that they are when it comes to Virtua Fighter. This is not normally what they do, unless, I mean, I don't know what they do for Guilty Gear. I don't know if that's just Arc Sys staff versus Sega staff, right? Sega's just a publisher in some regions, right? But when it comes to Virtua Fighter, and especially a more traditional fighting game community, or a more modern form of a traditional fighting game community, last year was Sega really starting to try to do that more, and looking for partners and trying out some stuff. And so I really appreciate them doing that. And I think this year will be exciting. Yeah, so we'll see I think they're going to definitely put a roadmap on in March. I think they're going to state, which is better than June, right? Like last time, I think that it was the end of May when we actually got a decent roadmap of what was going on, you know? So yeah. But I think it's because some decisions still had to be made at that time. Oh, Metawatt's got me. All right, here we go, Metawatt. I really do need to start doing whatever's guaranteed on side turn from PvP4P. Nice, nice. I couldn't get the evade in time. I actually tried to evade. It's like because I pre-buffered something else, so I need to hit guard. It's hard. Good game, my friend. Good game, Metawatt. Really nice wolf, man. Really nice wolf. So, Subterrum, let's see. So, Two Scoops said, so disrespectful. You know, I don't worry about those types of things. It's how you react to things in life that's gonna matter. And so, if you're gonna read disrespect and things, that like can tilt you. That doesn't help me. So, you know. But yeah. So let's see. They actively go out of their way to have featured tournaments for smaller scenes. Yes, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. We're talking about Tampa Never Sleeps. Power Rangers and Killer Instinct are good examples. good. By the way, those have awesome scenes too. I also attribute MVC3 being so big as it is largely in part due to Tampa Never Sleeps. That's awesome. Mr. K says, I'm expecting a Revo World R version before 6. I don't know, really? I wonder. That's an interesting insight if that's true. I would not expect it, but yeah. So it should give you PP 4P into stance 6P. Okay. Oh, that would be amazing. I need to do that. Yeah, that would be so cool. Hey, Move Quick, thank you very much for the compliments. And Casey, thank you so much for telling me that. I appreciate it, man. Always appreciate you. Yeah, don't try to, like, 8K cannot beat rising attack. It only crushes low, so you can't, like, it's just not a good option there. I didn't have the life. It's a bad choice. And here, yeah, if you're gonna Abare, it's gotta be like high punch, which is scary to do too. Ah, I thought I got it, but I didn't. Yeah, 9K plus G also is overwhelming. Like, you just cannot rising attack against it. Don't even try. That was really bad on my part. It's got too much damage. I like this guard break. I always forget about it too, and it threatens this wall. I wanted to take that hit. Okay, yeah, I forget that he does a low. I actually forget about this low, and so it covers the 4-4K. Like, I have to do 4-6K, but he knows very well, and I forget this situation all the time. That was a really fun battle, Ripper. Always a fun battle. I like fighting Ripper's Kage like a lot, and I'm glad. Congratulations, belated congratulations. He won the winter season. I wish I could have participated, but I was busy the whole time. I was gone for almost all of November, and I was also not going to play on the same days as the Virtua Fighter Open Champion, like the online championship qualifiers. I wasn't going to do that, and so not this time. And so I wasn't able to participate much, but I would not have won. I mean, I was in no position to, but I had so much fun. But he played amazing, and him and Live for Eve were probably the two strongest that I felt during that season. Alright, my range sucks against Akira right now. Meaning my sense of like what to do at the range. I am doing stuff that's gonna lose. I'm losing to spacing situations, right? I'm playing into them. I like that knee. Alright, forward dude though really scared me in that first round. Keep it up. Really nice Akira. Alright, I need to adjust the angle of my arcade stick because I'm making errors. that I can adjust for. Let's move the stick there. We were able to cover the spacing a little better now, and I think that's the adjustment we made at the end of the first round towards the rest of the match, was how we were going to play this spacing and timing against forward dude. And it matters a lot. You do have to adjust your timing with your opponents, especially if they try to extend neutral. And Akira is a character that's allowed to extend neutral almost at his will, because he covers so much ground and just forces to guess right away. So that allows him to control space and time in his own way. And you have to respect that, and then you got to work with that, right? And so Nietzsche Akira is different. Technique has a very different rhythm to him. Nice. We got it, I think. All right, we got it. That was an intense round, Technique. Very intense round. Thank you, my friend. You almost got the punish there. You saw that you ducked properly. You will get the punish. You'll get the punish. So you're because you saw it. I know you saw that. So you're gonna have the punish. The punish is coming. It's coming soon. You'll have days like that where the execution can be rough. I have those too. I have to make those adjustments, and it's hard, but you get there, and when you get used to doing it a lot, then it becomes second nature, like your music, man. So you got this, my friend. You got this. Sometimes too much coffee does it, yeah. Actually, so for me it doesn't, right? Like coffee and tea, I can drink those and go to bed. They don't really affect that on me, but yeah. But I like a lot of what I saw in there. I really like that duck. That duck was really good. I'm like, man, that duck, that's gonna be lethal. Yeah. It's all good, man. Just manage in the now, improvise in the now, right? Come up with a plan that works in the now, but don't overthink it, right? Like if you sell yourself short too much, then you're not helping yourself, right? But it's like I'm always having to set little miniature performance metrics and just go, can I do this? Oh, I can. Okay, we'll do that. Can I do this? No, I can't. Okay, here's the new plan. And then when I start executing so well in the new plan, I'll start assessing on whether I can take it up a notch, you know. So I just do it very, very quickly and like rapidly. So yeah. Yep, just one of these days, man. One of these days. But I love our fights always. Always, I love our fights, man. It's okay if you don't love our fights. I know Leon's annoying as hell, so, but I enjoy it. Okay, you have a comment for that already. That's okay. Could have been a mistake. I see. So I definitely have advice for Static for after this battle. Yes, good use throw. Good using the throw. That was good. Very good. Good use of the throw. Very nice. Let's keep this sparring up, Static. Let's keep it up. Good use of the mid on the third. Very nice. Good. Alright, here we go. This is where I come after you now. And I'm getting killed for it. Static has found his way. Alright, keep it up, Static. This is John's strength, this is neutral though. And so if I'm not sure of when he's gonna do it, this actually gives a lot of people a lot of hard time too. Alright, that was a very fun battle. Very fun battle. And I can see where your game gives a lot of people a hard time on this certain stuff, right? So what it does give people a hard time on is not knowing when you're going to go ahead and commit, and so you start off with being very defensive. And a lot of people a lot of Tekken players I know that play Jean, that started with Jean, kind of play that way too, and it can really mess you up too because you just make good choices. So I like that. The thing I was going to tell you to improve, you're trying to pressure with strings a little too much. And the problem is there's a lot of deficiencies in the strings. Now, it doesn't mean you don't do them. It just means you do them less than you're doing now. You'll do stuff like 6xp and you hit them, and the option you choose there is a string. When you hit with 6xp, it's a very special mechanic with Jean. Jean's 6xp forces the opponent to have to either defend or take a hit. And so when you hit somebody with 6xp, they actually cannot evade unless you move. If you move or you guard or you hop, which is a move, then they can do anything. But if you immediately attack, if you 6xp hit them and then attack them, they can only guard or not guard, and they can only stand or crouch. That's all. They cannot attack you, they cannot sabaki you, they cannot evade you. This means that what you should do when you hit somebody with 6xp is a mid-low mix-up attack. At least that's what you should master as the first step of this. Second part of this though, right now you're doing that, so I'm not saying you don't know this. So what's the problem? The problem I see is that what you're doing is you're using string pressure here. And string pressure means you only get guaranteed the first 1 or 2 hits, but you're not going to get that third hit. And in fact, that third hit might be a liability. They might be able to duck and punish you. They might be able to mix you up. Okay, so now if we think about this, this means that maybe you hit them 2 hits with a string. That's not much damage. That's like 20 damage. That's like 25 damage. You should be threatening with a move that does at least 30 damage. Or no, that's kind of... Okay, here's the thing. When you hit them with an attack, if they guess wrong, you're going to counter hit them. So you're going to threaten to do a lot of damage anyway. You should be using attacks that are a little bit of better quality after you hit with 6xp. So you hit them with 6xp, you can threaten with something like back punch and kick, which is like his long range like elbow thing. It's like his version of a dashing elbow that crumples. If they guess wrong, they're dead. Like they're gonna eat a combo. Down kick is the default that you do for the low, and because you want them to worry about that low. Because if they get hit by the low kick in this situation, that second kick will hit them. So mix up between a good quality mid a good quality mid, and a low. And the low I would use is just down kick. I wouldn't overuse it, but I would, in fact, I would use it until they actually start blocking it. Once they start blocking it, switch to the mid. And that's a very strong plan for Jean. It's a very, very strong plan. Even if you lose the down kick, even if you lose that situation, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. I mean, it could be at a high level, they're going to duck that high and then launch you. So that's the risk. But you're really doing these lows to get them to want to block low so that you can hit them with a launcher, with a really powerful mid that's going to make them hurt and give you good Okuzumi. So that's my advice to you, is to improve how you take advantage of what 6-6P, forward punch, gives you. So keep it up. You're doing great. Yeah, so 2KK, but it's not because 2KK is the answer. You're doing 2KK because you want them to block low. And you want them to block low because then you want to do really good mids. Your goal is the mids, but the 2KK is how you condition them to eat those mids. You want to condition them. This game is about conditioning. And 6-6P conditions because they have no choice. They cannot attack. Now, if you dash, they can attack. If you evade, they can attack. If you offensive move, they can attack. But if you hit them with 6-6P and you attack right away, they can only guard or not guard. And they can only stand or crouch. That's all they can do. Make use of that. They're locked. It's a cool situation, and it's a cool thing in VF. So yeah, I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps you. So keep it up, because your John's doing a lot of good stuff, but I see you hitting 6-6P but not getting good profit from it. 6-6P is like low punch. It's not just about the 6-6P itself. It's about what you do after the 6-6P hits. Now, if they block 6-6P, there is a powerful thing you can do. If they block 6-6P, you can backdash. It's really strong. It is stupidly strong. If they block 6-6P and it's not like you guys are crumpled at the wall, like, no. If your 6-6P pushed them back when they blocked it, you can backdash, and there's really good options. The most popular is to do back, forward punch. So you do back as the backdash, and then you end up doing forward punch. And if you see the back forward, and this ends up being backdash into back forward punch, when you hit with back forward punch, you can hit the kick and get a combo and threaten Okuzemi. It's really good. It's really good. And that move is an important move to know. Back forward punch and then kick. That move is a strong combo finisher in some combos. So good to know. Yeah.
Round two. Ready, go!
By the way, we do have a. So I'm not in Seattle. I'm in Portland, and Logan is in Portland as well. However, we do have a Discord where players, especially around the Seattle area, chat. So hit me up, Techni, and I'll connect you with that group. That's the Water Lily Discord. But that's the group that regularly goes to the salon every Tuesday. That said, we are still playing in on Mondays. It's just mostly it's me, Space Time, and Weebs over Dweebs over Weebs, Weebs over Dweebs, but that said, we have others coming. Pericles has been coming, and Dr. Dog's been coming. So we've been having a lot of time, and Saffron, hold back to Mark there. So we've been having an awesome time. So but I know that it's quite a drive for you. So there's no pressure, but let's spar some more soon, Logan. Offline or online? Okay. AKAI did another league battle, I think for fun. I might have to go soon for a bit, but I plan to come back to stream more VF. Alright. Ooh, that's scary.
My time is here. Look out.
By the way, Subterm, that's awesome about New England. Shout outs to New England VF. Good. Very good. Nice. There you go. Very good. Got this. Very good. All right, DG, here we go. Are they comfortable throwing me after they block something big? They're trying to always set up block as a call out to throw or to guard. So I have to watch for that. Whew. All right, we ranked up.
Let's fight.
And good games, two scoops. Good games. Oh, you moved deep north. Okay, no problem. I understand. I do. We'll spar online, Logan. We'll spar online. And stuff. And sometimes I'll come up there, though lately I've also been rationing my gas as well. So. Alright, Static. Let's see what you got this game. That last game was very good. Oh, no, you don't want to move after 6 XP hits. You want to attack. Good. Almost. Locals have been hard for Boston. I met a really cool player. I forgot her name. She was really cool. She visited Portland, and so she was there for like I think a Blaze Blue event or something. No, it was Tekken. She was there for Tekken, and then but like it was really cool fighting VF with her. That's good. A lot of people are excited for the Switch 2 release. It's gonna be wonderful, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it plays at locals too. Very good. That was good. Alright, good game, Static. Good game. Keep it up. And you got comfortable using 2KK. That was really good. So then you're gonna want to start mixing in those mids, but if they keep losing to 2KK, keep doing it. And I kept losing to it. It was really good. Yeah, you're gonna get it. It's okay. You're getting used to it now. Yeah. No problem. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get the timing on buffering that from the 6p, but you got it. I saw enough of those 2KKs to know you're getting more comfortable with it. So keep it up. No problem. My pleasure. we'll keep working on it. Keep having fun with it. I'm glad you're here. Thanks for your support too. All right, I'm gonna die to Ripper, but we'll try. Oh, that's guaranteed. I have a guaranteed punish there. Testing the Brook and Mayflash switch converters. I think it's important too. I agree with that. That's right. Watch out for that delay 4PK. 4P delay K. They depends. It's more like that the first generation ones don't, and then because Sony did some stuff, but the later ones do. But we'll see. But Switch 2 should have a lot of PC compatibility for control. Good. Very good. He read me like a book. So in this case, he just read me. He was just patient and read. They is I think they're talking about Sega. Oh no, Static was talking about the Brook and the Mayflash switch converters, but I don't know directly about the switch converters. So I think they were responding directly to you saying, yeah. Hey, Akai, can you hear me okay?
Oh, hey, Trench, I'm just about to wait blurring.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, there's just a fun league, right? We're just having fun practice.
Yeah, it's just fun playing. I saw there's still 9 people in.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going to wait blurry now.
Alright, well, thanks so much for everything. Cheers.
No problem.
Really
Glad
enjoyed
that you
it.
could play this time.
Yeah, me too. It felt really, for the most part, it felt great, and I had a blast. So, yeah, thank you so much.
So the 13 player league, we haven't got any issues. The league before was 12 players, but Jan Ripper and Cecilia immediately had issues. So
I see.
2 out of 3 in North America.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 in Europe too. So, yeah.
We're hanging in there, hanging tough, but for what it's worth, the matches were fun for me.
I do think that we'll get patched before the open beta test, because
I would hope.
Sega
I
is
hope
aware
so.
of these issues, and if they want a positive experience, then
yeah,
they'll be able to do it. Yeah.
It's tough though because.
Go ahead.
Well, it's like it does make me wonder what their testing environment is. I'm surprised The Steam Deck one makes me worry. The Steam that there were problems on Steam Deck because of the non-Windows thing. That's kind of like, are you guys testing? Like what like how? I mean, I know you're testing, but how many setups are you testing on? Because that's definitely one of the setups is a Steam Deck.
They did specifically promote it that it's Steam verified.
It's Steam Deck verified, but in your beta, I mean, again, in the patches, right? You got to test those on those. There's key platforms to test on. So I was just wondering. I'm like, I hope they've been testing on Steam Decks.
Because of that, you expect it to work on the Steam because it's Steam verified. Like they could make the excuse, and which would be a reasonable excuse. Like, yeah, the requirements to play Virtua Fighter is a Windows operating system.
Right.
So if it worked in the past, that's great. But if it doesn't work now, it's not what they say that it's supposed to work on. But for the Steam Deck, they are promoted that it works on the Steam Deck. Yeah. So I saw a post on the unofficial community, VF3TV today, Discord. So I posted that they messaged Sega support, and they say that it's not. The response was that it's not supposed to work on the Steam Deck, something like that. I'm not sure if there's miscommunication or something on that.
Yeah. So it just could have just been something, but yeah, hopefully we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, but I do hope that there's a patch before the beta as well, and I do hope that they're testing out the. I do hope that they're going to test out the. Sorry, I'm fighting the Rock Reaper right now. I do hope that. I lost my train of thought, but yeah. Well, before the Switch 2 beta comes out, and I hope that they do test crossplay, but it sounds like it's just a Switch 2 beta. So
no, it did specifically mention crossplay. So
okay, so there's going to be
I think Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation can also download the open beta version of the game to test it out with Switch 2 people. And hopefully it'll actually has some patch updates to it so that it makes people on those systems actually want to participate in the open beta. Oh, bring this to round 5.
Yeah. Rule of threes. There it is. I will get used to that on block now, but I'm starting to get used to seeing it on kick, but to attack when he goes for throw. But it's so much fun. That was a really fun Battle Reaper. But yeah, we'll see how it goes with the beta test.
All I can confirm for those who's very frustrated, I do have confirmation they have been working on this daily.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah. It'll be nice, yeah. But at least the Switch 2 launch could be an opportunity to yeah. But that's a lot to ask.
And those who thinking that have really negative opinion, this was when I was asking for feedback and stuff. It wasn't me asking Sega these things. It was they asking me to get feedback from you guys to give it to them. So I do think they were trying to figure these out. But 3 months is a very long time to have these same issues still ongoing. Okay, let's see. I think as I stop everything on my side. Right, I have to stay to exit the room when this thing is done.
Almost got this. I'm trying to get used muscle memory built for a new option.
Well, Ilwil's went to LA, Gary. Do you know who this person is?
What's the name?
Ilwil?
Ill Will. No. I mean, I would know what their other name is, but I don't know what the Ill Will is. But yeah, but I know everybody. But I was the one who submitted the player names for that thing. So I'm just saying they have a different name than the name used at the event.
Okay.
Maybe. I could just also misremember.
Okay.
But yeah. So Ill Will. But yeah, but I'm not sure if they're another person or not. Or I might have also forgotten the name too. I just don't recognize the name Ill Will. So. Thanks for that battle blurring. That was really intense.
Forgot to train, eh?
Move Quick says they don't see the point in sending Sega feedback. I see the point. They've actually responded to a lot of stuff, but development does take time. And if they can't solve a problem, it's not like they just release a patch for no reason. There are reasons they released this recent patch, but Sega has definitely been responsive to the things we've been asking for. It just took time. And it was on their schedule, but they have done it. Like, honestly, sending Sega feedback has actually, like, this past few years, we've actually seen response to it. So I personally see it. But I definitely understand when you're not in the position, like, not like AKAI or I or some others who have been in contact or on the Discord active, to like, I can understand how it just feels like they're not, but they totally are. There's, like, there's definitely evidence now that they've been responsive. Now, if you asked me that about more than 5 years ago, yes, then true, they were ignoring us, or we weren't on the radar. But especially the past 2 years, they've definitely been responding, and so it's one of those things where so in my opinion, definitely worth doing it, at least for me. But it does affect what I do because I keep playing the game regardless. But it's true that if you're the type that's gonna leave the game, then yeah, you'll probably not feel it being as worth it. And I get that too. But I definitely have seen them work on it. And then of course there's some of us that do talk with them, or talk with some employee or someone related to kind of know if something is happening or not. But I don't. I only talk to them at like events and stuff. But I can tell you that. From like a lot of stuff has been addressed or tried to, and then they just don't. It's just that they don't say anything when they don't have much to give, or when it's not the time or not authorized. It's definitely a company where their employees really need a lot of authorization to say anything.
There are a lot of different departments, and it takes a while for things to go through the process, from my understanding.
Yeah.
But like I said again, the two documents that I sent to Sega, it wasn't me asking them. It was them asking me to write the document for them about of these specific issues. So I do think they are trying to figure it out. But I think there's certain ways they could do better by communication. But there's a lot of department hierarchy and need discussions between groups of people, which makes certain things take much longer. It's not like me and you talking to each other here on stream and then figuring things out to fix things as we can to play League. There's this longer process of things, which for basically talking to other people and they telling me some things could take months before things happen. 3 months is a very long time. How many more matches is this before? I don't want to actually.
Oh, almost put them. Okay. Well, I was gonna say though. Also, Subterra mentioned that it said like VF Team would probably love to be doing more, but to Sega, VF is not making money. I have a different take on this. And so he says this likely restricts what they can't do. Right now, for as long as Revo World Stage, and remember, we still have one more release on the Switch release, right? So for as long as it's a quote-unquote current product, it is seen as a promotional path for future VF. And because of that, there is resources paid and effort and attention, even by the big ups, about how Revo World Stage is doing. So it's seen as a promotional vehicle for the next VF. So whether you feel that that's doing well for the successfully or not is different. But what I am saying is that they definitely are paying attention to this game. And they definitely are putting resources in it, and it's proven. They're sending people to events. They're doing events. They are releasing it on another platform, and they are patch updating it. So that means there's resources poured into it. But they weren't being negative. Subterm was just saying that that he was concerned about the higher ups at Sega, like whether they have much attention to it, and he felt doubtful. I'm like, no, actually, they have a lot of attention to it because they really. But as long as this can be seen as a viable path of marketing the next VF, then there will be attention paid to this, even by the higher ups. But once the community says this game is dead, then they're like, okay, Plan B, we do the new VF, and we just stop promotional activities on World Stage, and we stop trying to engage the fighting game community. We go for the mass audience only. So if the fighting game community and the VF community walks out on Sega, they just have to, then they're just going to focus on the next game and not worry about VF Legacy. But the VF Legacy project basically is their proof in the pudding that they have attention paid towards this as one of the marketing paths for the new VF game.
There's also, I know for sure there's a budget restriction on how much you can do for the legacy stuff. But it's pretty much guaranteed that there's going to be a second year of official VF tournaments. And this second year, is going to have all the platforms available to play on, not just restricted to PC, Steam.
Yeah, and Subterm, yes, for sure. It's always a question about what is the return on investment, and so then how much investment makes sense. But I would also say something about Sega though. Sega is not very typical as a corporation. They do a lot of things that a lot of other companies just would not do. A lot of publishers would not do. And I'm not saying they do everything we want. I'm just saying that they're not strict ROI on their decision making. Not in the way that some other publishers are, and that sometimes that's been great for them and sometimes it's been bad for them. I like to think most of the time it's actually been good for them, and I think their current position in the industry helps them, because right now look at what happens with all the big publishers, all the layoffs, all the developers, all the games that have to get canned, whereas Sega right now is actually on a pretty good winning streak for their games. And on the quality of their games, and also in terms of their positioning and their staffing, Sega feels like one of the places that is not mass laying off all the time right now, whereas the rest of the industry is kind of doing a lot of it, right? Are they talking about AI to their staff? They are, and they are doing training and saying you got to use these tools, but they're actually hiring a lot more than a lot of places right now. And they have been for the last 2 years, or the last 1 year. But yeah.
Also, the new president of Sega, they did kind of like a risk or bold of emphasizing on their past legacy.
Yeah.
Past legacy of Shinobi, Crazy Taxi, Golden Axe, Street of Asia, all those other things that they mentioned a while, and Jet Set Radio, which I was a little surprised that we haven't heard anything of those projects since Shinobi.
Yeah.
So just like a new VF, we were a little surprised of how lack of information we got in 2025, which Michio Yamada did have basically said, 2026 we'll give you guys the information. How much of this is still very much, a lot of this seems risky to me.
Indeed. But I really do like a lot of what they've been doing, and I really like this I mean, I'll call it the Shuji Itsumi era, but I really like, even though he's been involved with Sega for a long time, and he's not the only guy that's in charge, but I really like a lot of what seems to be happening under his current tenure. So, really fun battle, RJ. That was a blast. I had a lot of fun, RJ. Yeah, and Sega is doing a lot of there's things that I like about Sega being a Japanese company. I mean, there's a lot that can be complained about Japanese companies. There's stuff that I really like about Japanese companies. One being that some of these companies really actually believe in their relevance and in their legacy and in having an important role in that. And so what does that mean? Well, it's not just satisfying the shareholders. It is that they have to do that. You have to do that to survive, and you don't want to have, but you're less likely to have this activist board completely run over your company and change it and then just harvest you so they can pump you up to be sold and just treat you as a portfolio piece. Sega is like, no, we're Sega. You know what I mean? And a lot of Japanese companies, you get at least some of that sense. Like, no, we are this company that has a meaning. We have a reason to exist that's not just shareholder wealth. But yes, they do want to have shareholder wealth. They do. But I think there's a big difference because a lot of times we're so used to seeing like everything just the shareholder wealth now. And just and basically things being treated as a hot commodity to be bought up and then later sold and traded. And so some of the Japanese companies give me hope that that culture matters and that they actually believe in what they are, not who they can make rich, and that sounds so cynical, but as everything else in the world has shown you, these are probably very cynical times. You know what I mean? Even for an optimistic guy like me. So yeah.
Alright, I think everyone's finished the league, so I am going to exit now. Thanks again, Chai.
Yeah.
And
Alright, thank you, Kai. Yeah, well, really quick, this guy Marco, who's been in support for a while, 2530, says a lot of projects using past Sega IPs have been announced, but we haven't heard anything for a while now. Hear about the Super Game concepts, but also don't hear much about these. Now, I think that's not a bad sign, because one thing is I do hear a lot of these are still in the works. What it means is they are still investing in them to a degree, but also they don't want to show it until it's ready to be shown. It is really bad to show stuff that's not ready to be shown, or to just show stuff as it comes, because that's not a good way to market. It's a really bad way to promote and market, actually. You end up over promising and under delivering. They're trying really hard to actually market it in a good way, and they are trying to get products. And in the recent slew of games, when I said that they're on a winning streak, I also mean that that Sega has had games that came out with pretty good quality, really good quality, right? And they're fun. Whether it's Shinobi, which I think was really great, but a lot of games, even Sonic Frontiers is quite good. And I know people that are still freaking hooked and playing Sonic Racing Crossworlds right now. Or, sorry, I don't follow that game as much, so I probably missaid the title because I mixed it up with the other game.
yeah, Crossroads, I think it's the right name.
I think Crossworlds, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and so right now, that's what we want. Trust me, they probably want to talk about Jet Set Radio, and they probably want to talk about Crazy Taxi. But I think they're exercising discipline, and both, not just the discipline for marketing, which is super important, but also the discipline on getting these games right. Not just, okay, it's going to come out in 3 years, and then it comes out in 3 years and it's not good. I think they really are trying to make quality games. And
yeah, I think people would like to review more information of UVF last year, but based on how Yamada basically, right, there's a lot of trial and error of what worked and did not work. And so I think
yeah, but
it's hard on the fans because they want as much information as possible, as soon as possible. And,
yeah, investors too, right? But that's also why you get to definitely read their annual reports and even their quarterly reports. These are public information. and they're translated in multiple languages, and the investors ask a lot of the same questions that gamers ask. So I definitely recommend reading the annual and the quarterly reports, because sometimes, yeah, they're giving a PR like answer that's trying to kind of frame it in a way that's more acceptable, but a lot of times they're pretty much flatly telling you what's going on, and they're not supposed to lie. Like, they're in big trouble if they lie in those things. But definitely read them. They're really good. And again, I'm very excited for the way Sega's been in the last 3 years. Like, really, sincerely, really excited for the way that they've been in this last 3 years.
You've been a fan of Sega for a long time, or hate or love relationship with it. These last 3 or 4 years have been pretty nice. Well, especially during the Revel, the larger Revel and stuff. But yeah, there was a lot of years where it was pretty bad. Excuse me, pretty bad. Because their focus was on the Japanese market.
Absolutely. So yeah, this is just I think it's an exciting time. I last year I felt very happy as a VF fan. I feel so happy with that whole year. Yes, I could not go to all the events I want to, but I went to so many events, right? And I got to do a lot regionally, and I got to do a lot internationally, and I got a lot to do online. And the community has paid me back in many ways, and so I appreciate it. So I think, and this year feels, as far as Virtua Fighter, like, these are not the best of times for a lot of things, but when it comes to Virtua Fighter, I'm very happy as a VF fan. So, and so I'm just having a blast, and I'm enjoying this ride, but you and I think are trying to make things better too, in our way, within our capacity, but it's now measured. Because I know for you, you're like, well, I can't travel anymore, and I have a lot of different priorities. So you're doing, but you also, like, you don't want to make it too much like the job you hate. So you've been doing it in a huge capacity in terms of the things you like to do, and you're either gathering data as well, which is wonderful. So for me, it's a bunch of other things as well. So this has been exciting times as a VF fan, and so I'm very very grateful, but I'm also wanting to make it better if I can. So yeah,
I think also we're getting older, so we sometimes are a change of perspective. But yeah, it's been fun, and then VF has been a nice distraction at times from the real world.
Absolutely, yeah. So the color, yeah. After I wrote that, we believing with our own eyes, what the red connection. Is it Unrivaled Tournaments, right? Unrivaled Tournaments is who did the Frosty Faustings coverage for VF. Sorry. Chad the Third was asking about if there's a Frosty Fausting VOD. So it's like, go to Twitch and go to Unrivaled Tournaments. Oh, anytime, Chad. Anything for you, my friend. We love you, man. So anyways, yeah, it's for both you and I guess we're going back to other real life stuff, but the VF was very fun today. So thank you so much, AKAI.
All right, I'll talk to you later, and I'll be hosting again next weekend. I don't think I say this, I guess you're off here, but I might take a weekend off this February because it depends on when Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year.
Lunar New Year's happens about 2.5 weeks from now. It's like it's like the 17th. I think the 17th. Yeah. So next weekend, 2 weeks from next weekend.
So we'll see how that fit is. If it is very close, then we'll say we'll cancel that weekend. But we'll see.
Not a bad idea. Talk to you later. Cheers. Yeah. So, hey, thank you, Chad, again. And also thank you, Reaper. Reaper, so good to have you in the chat here. No, totally. I agree with you, Marco. Trust me, I do. I do agree with you that, I'm doing the best to manage what we can manage on our end as players. But definitely would like an improved room situation. I do plan to stream ranked soon, to start doing some ranked and see how that. I've heard that the ranked environment is doing okay. I mean, as far as the technical side, the things people tend to complain about are people that are going to go once, like one delay on purpose and stuff like that. And I don't mind trying to show people how to fight against such people and how to assess them. You know, like how to assess what's going on, what's working and not working, and coming up with game plans to fight against someone doing that. But of course, I prefer they don't. But it's like tournaments. You sometimes have to deal with things with rough elements, and for me, part of the fun is learning how to weather the storm. So, yeah. Yep. Education is like criticism is good when it is like critique is good, right? But criticizing for the sake of criticizing, or if the only value you bring is to criticizing, then then there's a limited value. But of course, commentary, turning criticism into critique, and then taking on a role to help improve, that's good. Yeah, absolutely. I try to help. I try to help enjoy. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, but it's true. The hard part is if we only reward. The hard part is a lot of times people do get some kind of weird, bizarre, perverse reward for criticizing, and this happens at all levels in the world, actually. Right? I mean, corporate politics is built on that, right? So, and we hate that, but and sometimes we have to end up fighting within ourselves to fight with the positive things that are going to make things better with a long-term vision. But we also have to win the immediate war sometimes, and that sucks too. So, and that's because human nature, and that's because limited time to life, to time in the day, so then people want to prioritize, and when people want to prioritize, sometimes they do it well, sometimes they do it with blind spots. And sometimes they do it, and so this is just like one of those tough things to manage. And sometimes, for the sake of the good, sometimes we could explain ourselves more efficiently or better, or sometimes we just have to do what's not comfortable, and I hate that. But sometimes that is the case. But I do think that at least on this platform, I can always talk about the positive way to do things and try to exemplify it, and try to, because I think life is much better that way. I think life is more fun that way. It is fun being an old man in the scene because you do see the people that criticize, and some of the ones that stick forever and always criticize, but they end up being like the losers at the bar. They end up being the guys that are just like, what about me? And they don't get to move forward. And I'm kind of like, well, it's really too bad, because I'd like it if you could move forward. And if we can move forward together, it'd be even better. But I'm going to manage what I can. And I see these new people that are really enjoying the game, and I see these old people that are really enjoying the game, and let's keep enjoying the game, so. But then sometimes you got to remind people too that our own impulses are kind of what feeds into the things we don't like. Like, it's no surprise, right? Like, if we're talking about like Karens, the number one complainers about Karens are Karens. The number one doomers, the number one complainers of doomers are doomers too. And so sometimes we end up being that toxic element, and it's hard to manage. It's a fight, but and I feel for it, but I'm also like, well, I'm just going to keep trying to do the positive thing because it's easier to move forward, but it's also easier to make things better. And that's always been rewarding for me. Going on the complete criticism path, I do have fun criticizing things personally, but it doesn't give me it only gives me the satisfaction in the moment of venting, but it's almost never given me a feeling that things got better. I felt like things got better when I fought to make it better, but I also considered everybody involved, and that's helped me in restaurant management, in ownership. It's helped me turn businesses around. It's helped me turn chaos into crisis into a wonderful time. Helped me turn chaotic events into a wonderful time. It's also why I think a lot of people that are more chaotic in their behavior seem to trust me, and that we can talk and chill and enjoy our time too. It's because I'm like, well, you know, and I'm not afraid to tell them sometimes directly, like, hey, I just don't think that helps in this way, you know. There was somebody recently, an influencer, who sometimes leaned more negative, and they tried to get me to talk about the bad side of the community. And I was like, they kept trying to prod that, and I just wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't name names or anything. I was just like, well, I don't see why it's helpful. And eventually I think I did get them to at least back off that, but also just like, let's talk about what it is we personally like and stuff like that. And it turned into a more productive conversation, even if it wasn't as exciting or fun for them, you know? So yeah. Yeah. AKAI said, we are not jumping hoops, we are praying to the VF Necrogods. I missed that message. Yeah, constructive criticism is always welcome. It totally is, right? Like goodwill, good faith. Those are the things that I really like. For me, I believe in goodwill, good faith, and respect, and I try to work with those things. And even when I have to do something that's not as positive, I found a way to positively convey that, or at least express the good faith and goodwill, and being like, hey, I'm just trying to, I'm going to do what I can to help, but I can't promise everything, but I can promise I'm going to do what I can to help, you know? But no, we definitely want the game to be more accessible, but also to the fun to be more accessible. That's what I always felt was resonating, was that, and so all those barriers, yeah, we need to try to take those barriers down if we can, and it's preferable if Sega can do it, because they're the ones that, that's the door most people go through, and then the community is the door that's like number 3 or 4 or 5 in line. And that limits what we can do, but we can do a lot. But it's more ideal if like Sega can fix the door, right? The first door. But as a community member, I'm going to do the best I can too. But I'm hoping that that front door gets fixed. So, well, you know, we're talking about a lot of different people, and there were a lot of different factors. But here's something I would say. You know, right now, the Sega right now that's making the new Virtua Fighter, I have faith in that Sega. I love the Sega of my childhood. From my understanding of them, I really like it, even though that's really chaotic too, but especially Sega Arcade, right? AM2, especially AM2, especially, and AM3, and I loved the 2000. Even though they didn't end up being as successful, I liked the late 90s and early 2000s Sega divisions, right? That did a lot of amazing projects and were trying to harness their creative energy. So I love that. That said, if we're looking at the history, and we're talking about Virtua Fighter 6, and we're upset that Sega didn't make Virtua Fighter 6 happen sooner, it might be for the better that we have the Virtua Fighter 6 now. Because the Sega right now that I see is as exciting and as cool as the Sega of the past. The Sega from 10 years ago, I don't know if we can say that. I don't know if the Sega 10 years ago was going to make the Virtua Fighter I want. I don't know what I don't know if they were going to compromise the product. I don't know if they were going to go swinging for the fences. This one looks like they're swinging for the fences. That's way better than I could have hoped for the next Virtua Fighter game. I thought they would just pay lip service, do something the fans are asking for, but nothing more. They're doing way more than that with this game. They're trying so hard. They're not even just trying to beat Tekken. They're really trying to take on fighting games. They're trying. I mean, from Japan, like the way that they're swinging on this game. So it may be my game. It may not be. There's no doubt in my mind. They're trying so hard to make this game a Sega, like represent Sega. So they're trying to make this like a flagship game for the whole company in a big way that they didn't have to when it came to quote unquote Virtua Fighter. And I don't know if the people in charge and the combination of people in charge 10 years ago, I don't know if they would make this game. So sometimes it just works out. Like right now, they're like, it's not just VF versus Tekken. This is like, I feel like this is like Virtua Fighter showing a new way for fighting games is what they're trying to do. I don't know what they'll succeed at, but that feels like what they're doing. It feels to me like when Monster Hunter went to Monster Hunter Worlds. That is huge. When Battlefield went to when Battlefield 2 and Bad Company, which are awesome games, to 3, and I know that the hardcore fans are going to say they like Bad Company 2 more. I get that. But I think Battlefield 3 was like, created this beautiful vision of the future for them. Now, did that vision happen? Maybe not, but Battlefield 3 I thought was freaking amazing. And I think Virtua Fighter is similar to that, and similar to, but especially like to Monster Hunter Worlds. Because Monster Hunter before that was just, we should do it on portable device, keep the budget low. It's an amazing game, but only the Japanese customers get it. And Virtua Fighter is like the fighting game, only the Japanese seem to get it. Right? You know? Like, Monster Hunter Worlds actually got like people all around the world to be excited for Monster Hunter in a way that the faithful had always known. So I'm happy that we're getting Virtua Fighter 6 now as opposed to 10 years ago, because yes, there is an opportunity lost about 10 years ago. But I freaking love Final Showdown, and I like what they're doing now. So I do like Revo and Revo World Stage like a lot, actually. I like Final Showdown more a little bit, but Final Showdown personally is my favorite game. But a lot of people, Virtua Fighter 4 series is going to be their favorite. 4 series is definitely one of my absolute favorite games too. It's just like, this is like marginal, like what we're liking that, right? I know that Mr. Casey loves the Virtua Fighter 4 series, and I love it too. He loves it more than I do because for me, I really like Final Showdown and I really like Revo World Stage. Virtua Fighter 6 is going to be similar. We're not all going to love this game as much as our favorites. And to be honest, in life, most people are not going to love things as much as whatever they loved when they were in their 20s. That's just kind of consistent. That's going to be consistent. And that's not to make the 30s and 40s depressing, though. I'm just telling you that that's what I see in people, period. Whether it's video gaming or not. Movies, sports, foosball. I know a guy who's obsessed about foosball. That's because that's what he played when he was in his 20s. You know? So like... So yeah, so we're gonna see exactly what they do, and yeah, they might really infuse the open world aspects of Yakuza and Shenmue to VF. We'll see. And that might be the way, it might be the wrong way. We'll see. But they're trying to prove it, and I'm excited for that. I mean, look at all the things Dead or Alive, like Real Noodles in here, so I'm going to talk about Dead or Alive. Look at all the things Dead or Alive envision too. Dead or Alive 2, oh my gosh. That is a way to really show some cool stuff. Now, fighting games didn't follow Dead or Alive 2, but Dead or Alive 2 did a lot of cool shit. Excuse my language now. So now I got to mark that on the video, but I'll say it for that, because Dead or Alive 2 is freaking awesome. When you see Dead or Alive 2 the first time, oh my gosh. Yeah, and Dead or Alive, right? So, yeah, Yeah, and I love the fighting in Dead or Alive 2 as well. And I know that Mr. Casey also, I think you were in the group that played Dead or Alive 2 like a lot. So Dead or Alive 2 hardcore also, right, if I remember? But I know that back in the day, Shosama was originally a Dead or Alive player. So, yeah.
Round two. Ready, go.
Man, Just Miles, that is awesome. Yeah, so DOA 3 is Just Miles' favorite, but 2 has a special place in their heart. Yeah, I mean, 2 like lays out a vision, and 3 does follow through, but 2 like really lays out the vision. I think 3 kind of shows where the thematic direction they really want to go in for the series. I think it lays that out. Whereas 2, it's general enough that it hits like a lot of different cross sections of types of entertainment and story and theme. But Dead or Alive 2 had a lot of beautiful visions that it executed really well on. The stage transitions is just mind-blowing at that time. Oh my gosh. And envisioning a fighting game going beyond, a ring, right? And being like huge, really huge. Yeah. And it created its own form of the juggle combos of its time too. And its own sense of what the physics should be. And we're not just talking about the jiggle physics, I'm talking about the combo physics and the stuns. Because Dead or Alive 2 definitely, like Dead or Alive 1 definitely was its own thing, but it definitely felt less polished. It felt iterating on VF2, but it totally did a lot of original ideas in Dead or Alive 1, and it saw that people loved reversals, and so it built its hold system through that, and that was cool. That was awesome because people love it. When you introduce any fighting game to somebody who doesn't normally play fighting games, and even when you introduce it to a person who does, everybody loves reversals. Everybody loves quote unquote counters, right? And so Dead or Alive totally embraced that in an amazing way. Yeah. So, well, I was saying that it wasn't just the jiggle physics, but that gameplay wise, yeah, Dead or Alive 2 really was was creating a visual identity in motion. But the jiggle physics is a part of it. Yeah, but the jiggle physics was so exaggerated in 1, it's funny. Like 1 is hilarious, right? Because that's like I don't know, like mangoes and watermelons and fruits inside of a pantyhose, and just doing this with it. That's like Dead or Alive 1. Dead or Alive 1 is like bungee fruit. So it was just so funny. It's so over the top that it's hilarious, but it stood out because nobody was doing it at the time. But yeah. Yeah, I couldn't tell you much about Koei Tecmo. I wish I knew more, but I don't know enough about Koei Tecmo. But I do like a lot of stuff in the history of Tecmo, and I do like a lot of stuff in the history of Koei, right? In the PS2 eras, I did like that they were trying stuff out, right? They were trying to expand what was already successful with Dynasty Warriors, and so not just Muso, right? But they wanted to do the Muso of strategy games, right? And I enjoyed that game. Was it Kens? It's not Kensei. It's Kessen, right? I think I have like Kessen 1, 2, and 3, but 1 and 2. But I enjoyed Kessen, but it was trying to do like the Muso of strategy games. Yeah, Kessen was so cool. And but they were so hugely successful in Three Kingdoms, right? I think if you live anywhere that has a Chinese population, like a really large Chinese population, that Koei was dominating with the Three Kingdoms games. And that Three Kingdoms is dominates the pop culture greater than Lord of the Rings dominates in the West. There's a lot of people in the West who's never read Lord of the Rings. Almost every boy has read Three Kingdoms, and this is a huge ass book. So almost every Chinese-ish Asian boy has read Three Kingdoms. So But we'll see what happens. I, I'm optimistic that Dead or Alive is being worked on, or something, or planned, and so I'm optimistic along with Emery Reigns that maybe this year there might be hints of a Dead or Alive. Again, Virtua Fighter's my game, but I always loved Dead or Alive, even including the first one, which I did play in arcade. Like, I think I was on a trip in New Mexico, and I think I just happened to see Dead or Alive in like a laundromat, and I played it there. That was the first time I played it, and then I later bought it for the Saturn. I imported it for my Sega Saturn, but yeah. Hey, mister, good to see you. Let's hope they remove the super. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So Marco says, I think Tech McCoy is more afraid of the DOA core fan base than Sega fears the VF. That's probably true, to be honest. It's probably true, but you know what? They can rest on their laurels because their Three Kingdoms fan base is not just a fan base. They just have like people love Three Kingdoms and they have that license. So. Well, and Sega, I wouldn't put fear, but like there's definitely been times where the VF fan base has probably annoyed the crap out of Sega marketing. But but that's like a long time ago too. I don't know what it looks like nowadays. They seem cool with us, but who knows? But yeah, but I'm just glad that I got to talk with some of them at recent events. For me, it was LA Gathering, and at very barely at Tiger Uppercut, which was unfortunate. But there was language barrier, and they're busy, but they were there. Aoki was sitting and watching the tournament quite a bit. I didn't want to disturb him. As much as I wanted to disturb him, but I wanted to go hang out with him, but I was gonna let him enjoy the show, enjoy the matches, and I didn't want to make him uncomfortable, and so I just kind of respected his space, but yeah. That said, here's what I will talk about Frosty Faustings, because I'm really happy about it. I'm glad that at Frosty Faustings, that the time slot that the big event was held for the top 8 was 12 o'clock on Saturday. Now, if 12 o'clock was the first game on Saturday, then I would not be happy. I'm happy because it was the second game on that stage. I'm happy because, in my view, at events, first is the worst. First, you don't get people watching it. You get people, because people are resting before the tournament, they're going to lunch before their tournament, they're in their tournament. So you're going to get less crowd. And a lot of people come to tournaments a bit late when they're just spectators. A lot of spectators come in late. And at EVO, Virtua Fighter was like the start of the day, so it looked empty. It's not good optics, right? King of Fighters in the middle, Tekken's middle. Now, I know that there's limits to negotiations, but negotiations can and should be done. And I assume they are done. I assume negotiations are done. And so second is fine. Third is great. Fourth is great. They won't be able to get the end. They won't be able to get like the capper, the end of the night stuff, and nor should they. And nor should they really want to do the end of the night, to be honest. But they do want to have a crowd for the video. They do want to have crowds for that. On top of that, they should promote. They should do giveaways at tournaments. They don't have to break the bank, but they should do some kind of a giveaway that at least one prize that draws people to go watch and have to sit through the first few matches to get, get them in the seats, fill the seats and let the seats decide if they want to stay and love it. But you got to fill the seats. And so Frosty Faustings, that happened. At the end of that tournament, at the end of the grand finals, the seats were full at Frosty Faustings. I don't know what the cleaning staff is like, but that looked amazing because sometimes at events, there is no cleaning staff. And so what happens is you have people that sit, they leave in the middle, they leave their soda over there. And so you have an empty seat and it creates gaps. And so most of the times you don't get a visual as beautiful as what you saw at Frosty Faustings for Virtua Fighter. You want that and you want to show that, and you're going to see that on the Sega marketing. You're going to see the crowds because that's what people will remember. But you let the crowd decide if they want to stick around and enjoy the show and if they love VF. But you got to get them in there, and it takes effort. It takes work to get the crowd there. It takes work. It doesn't happen by itself. Part of it is negotiate for the time that it's at. And you got to be active on this. You got to be proactive. If you don't say anything, they'll put you wherever. But you can't pretend that you don't have any power in this. You got to whoever represents the Virtua Fighter has got to say, hey, I really want this on this time. Can we at least, like, we're not asking to take Street Fighter's time. We're not taking Tekken's time. But, this is a big event. We're leading into a world tour. We're leading into this. We're leading into the new VF game. Work with us here. And so I liked what I saw there for Frosty Faustings. Of course, is there more? Of course. There's so much more that can be done. But just that's a big deal, right? Now, we did end up having a decent crowd at Tiger Uppercut, but we were also like the first. And so it took a while for that crowd to build. And it wasn't, so I don't really like that as much. And it also doesn't help because then the executives or the developer, they end up going, hey, how come nobody's watching our game? And it's like, well, you need to put it in a slot where there's going to be a crowd walking through it, and that might sit down. They might be tired and they want to sit down, so they just sit down to watch, and then they start going, a lot of people I know do end up liking Virtua Fighter when they watch it enough. And as the repetition starts to sink in, they start to see what's going on. So I think this year we'll see that effect too, because Frosty Faustings is promising for me. That I'm glad that whoever put the Virtua Fighter tournament at the 12 o'clock slot at an event where their first tournament starts at like 10 or 9. So that's the big deal. If it's other tournaments, I'm like 1 p.m. right? But Frosty seems to run on an early schedule. So, but midday you get a lot. You need the casuals to walk in. You need everyone to see it, and then you should do some kind of a giveaway or a promotion. And that's fair game at events, by the way. People do like prizes, even if they get annoyed at another game doing prizes. They do like that. Reward the crowd, and drive growth for the crowd. So I'm so happy we do need to be on top of that. Like, honestly, we have amazing players in Florida in that area. We do need to make CEO, we do need to make VFS CEO do very well, I think. I think it's important. I think it helps. And I think it feeds into next year. It feeds into like other tournaments saying we should do that too. And Jabali is very vocal. He's wonderfully vocal. That's a wonderful combination. That's an opportunity. So, and CEO already moved away from Daytona Beach, and Daytona Beach was the only reason I kind of hesitated to tell some friends to go. And I think Daytona Beach seems nice, but the problem with Daytona Beach was just like a lot of people of different creeds and color and strokes did not feel comfortable at Daytona Beach. And sometimes the locals at Daytona Beach apparently did not help that, right? So, yeah. And so now they're in Orlando, and I want to see Blondie there, but I want to see everyone else there too, and I want to see our community there. And I think CEO is a big deal. Now CEO has been good to VF, so let me make that clear. CEO has been good to VF in the past. VF players did have tournaments there, and they had fun times. And how can you not like the wrestling stage, you know? But our community was kind of split on whether they were comfortable going to CEO at that time. It's a different time now. I think right now more people are comfortable going to CEO. So I think this is the time for our community to step up. And now I say that hypocritically because it's very unlikely I get to go. I want to go. If I can go, I will go. But it's very unlikely that I can go to CEO. But I really want to. If I can go, I will go. But to do my part, it is telling everybody else you should go. You should totally go. You should make it an amazing time. And VF needs to be like, if you want our community to be listened to in the next VF game too, we have to show up now. We have to be there. We have to help the game look better. And the game looks great on its own, but it looks better with people. We're the people. Well, I mean, that is interesting though. But yeah, that is crazy. But well, okay, but that's also because Florida tends to have cheaper flights because there's so many flights going in and out and so many airports to go to. But because it's such a because tourism is its industry, it's a big part of its industry. So yeah, so that's gonna be like that. CEO or Combo Breaker, I think you have less options for hotels as well if you want to be really close. But yeah, but man, this should be a great year. Combo Breaker is going to be amazing. I know people I know VF veterans who have not been able to go to events in recent years that are going to Combo Breaker. And I know some new generation going to Combo Breaker. I know people that are going to EVO. And people going to EVO Japan. And if you're going to EVO Japan and playing Virtua Fighter, please let me know. Because I can connect you with somebody that is planning to do something really cool there with VF. If you're a VF fan, you're going to want to know. And so let me know, and I'll connect you with the right person to see if you can get in on that cool event that's going to happen over there. I wish I was going. Yeah. So definitely, it's gonna be really, really cool, and this is gonna be an amazing year for Virtua Fighter. This is gonna be another amazing year for Virtua Fighter. Last year was amazing. This is gonna be even better. This will probably be one of the very best years for Virtua Fighter, and then next year is gonna be pretty superb. So yeah, thanks for all hearing me out, and I appreciate y'all so much. I hope to be back on to play some VF, but I'm gonna go eat lunch. I didn't even have a breakfast, so I'm gonna go enjoy a meal, and then I did promise my son I'd play some like Persona 5 Royal with him, and both my son and I are both hooked on Persona 5 X, to be honest. That's no secret now because I've been very upfront about it. But we're gonna play some Persona. Both. We're gonna play two different Persona games. I might play 3 today because I've been playing 3 Reload as well, but we'll see. But so Subterm, you're looking for roommates for your I will let you know. I will let them know that you're looking. That would be awesome. That would be really awesome. So yes, Subterm is good roommates only. But if you think you're a good roommate, hit up Subterra because you can save money and you can have an awesome time playing VF at Combo Break at CEO. So hell yeah. Yeah, and also I am going to give shout outs to Setsuna. I won't say what it's about because I keep that more private, but Setsuna is an amazing community member and he does do a lot. And he does quite a bit behind the scenes too. His personality and forwardness has won over certain people pretty well. And Setsuna has always been an amazing friend too. So shout outs to Setsuna. Alright, Reaper, thank you so much. Thanks for your support, man. Thanks for keeping the chat really good.
give insightful chat. And so you all have a good one. We'll catch you later, and we'll do a raid though. Let's see. I forgot that I'm on the PS5 here. You're gonna see like a flicker. All right, excellent. If you guys want to recommend somebody to, I will, but I think there's enough VF streaming that I'll find somebody that I'm happy to raid. Because VF gets the priority. If they're streaming VF, they get a priority. Blurring is definitely one of the priorities. It's probably the main priority. Alright, we're gonna raid Blurring. Even though Blurring might be done, because I'm looking at Akira vs. Akira. Who's playing? Let me see. Nope, this is real. Awesome, Blurring's playing Akira. Hell yeah, you guys get to watch Blurring play Akira. You guys have a good one. We're gonna start the raid right now, and I chat with you a little bit.
It's like you're moving in slow motion.
Awesome. Oh, that's a very fun group. All right, everybody, have a good one. Enjoy the show, and say hi to Blurring for me. I'll catch you soon.